So guys, I'm going to start by showing you guys some of the very important things you're going to need for your drawstring ponytail. And first of all, you're going to need this sewing net. As you can see, I have two here. I have the square shape and this round shape. It was actually two half moon shapes, so I just joined them together there and sewed them with my hand. I used my hand to sew it to form this round shape. So you can use any of them, but I just decided to do the round shape. That's how I achieved this shape. And you can also use this. It's folded, so you can just cut it into two and use it for your mesh. It is actually very easy to use the square shape. It's easier to use a square shape than the round one, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to use this round shape just so you guys can see how it is possible to also use this one. But trust me, the square shape is easier. And guys, I don't recommend you use this net, because as you can see, it's stretchy and it is not strong at all. It's very fragile and it could tear off, so I don't recommend you use that one. Just use this. You can find this in the market. Don't use this, use this. So next, you're going to need this stretch cords. They are stretchy cords and they are the ones we call the drawstrings. So you obviously need this to secure your hair very well. So just find them in the market. I have 3 here and I'll be using one of them for this ponytail. And then you're going to need these T-pins. They are T-pins. You just use them to fasten your mesh to the dummy when you're sewing the hair on it. So you can get this. If you don't have it, you can always improvise. So guys, next you're going to need your needles. You know that the needles are very important. So I have these curved needles here, and I also have the straight ones. These are the straight ones. You can use whichever one is convenient for you. I actually curved these needles myself. I can't remember how I did that, but well, I just did. And then next you're going to need these combs. These are the stretchy combs. They come like this, and the truth is I found the ones that come with these designs. I was actually looking for one that doesn't have this, but this was the one I found. So I'm going to use them like that. I know that I can always break them if I want to, but I'll just use it like this. You just cut it into tiny pieces and use them for your ponytail. So yes, you're going to need these combs. And then you're obviously going to need your sewing thread to sew the hair on the mesh. So basically, these are the things you'll be needing for your ponytail, your drawstring ponytail. So without further ado, let's go straight into the video proper. So what you can see me do here is I'm just folding the edges of this net, and I'll use my needle and thread to sew it. What I'm doing is I left a little allowance. I just folded it, so I'll sew it all the way around, and the space I'm leaving there is for the drawstring. I'm not sewing the drawstring directly. I'll just sew it all around, and when I'm done, I'll pass the drawstring through the space that I am leaving there. So you just use your needle and thread and sew it round, just the way I'm doing. So just look closely and you see what I'm doing. It's very simple to understand. You can see that it's gradually coming together. And I am done sewing that part, so you can see how very neat it is. So right now I'm going to pass my drawstring through that space. And guys, one thing I forgot to show you guys is the stopper. You're going to need this to hold your drawstring and tighten it to your hair. So now I'm going to use my scissors to cut out a very tiny piece, just a little opening where my drawstring will pass through. It's going to start here and also end here. So I'll just cut out a very tiny piece. That's the piece there, and time to put my drawstring through. So I'm going to use a safety pin. Guys, this is the easiest way to pass your drawstring through your mesh. You know, if you say you're going to use just the drawstring and pass it through, it's going to give you a very hard time. This is the part that is so tricky, but using your safety pins is the easiest way. You can see how very easy it is. And I am done. You can see how very fast it was. It didn't take time at all. So that's the easiest way to pass your drawstring through your mesh. And my drawstring is there, and just get ready to move on to the next step. We are done. Our mesh is ready for our ponytail, and now it's time to attach the tiny combs. So I've already cut the combs, and as you can see, the nature of the combs are curved, so I want to make them straight. You can see how curved they are. So this is what I want the combs to look like. I just want them to be straight like the regular comb. So I just derived a means to make them straight before I sew it onto the mesh. So just watch what I'm doing. I'm just passing my needle and thread through the loopholes, and when I'm done, I'll tighten it. I'll tie it and make it firm before I attach it to the mesh. So I hope you understand what I'm doing. You can see that I've not even tied it, but while pulling the thread, you can see how straight the combs are. So this is what I want. I'm just calculating the center of the mesh, so I would attach the combs. So you can see where my drawstring ended, and I'll use the top of this mesh and the bottom to attach the combs. So I'm just sewing the comb to the mesh. And guys, while sewing, make sure you avoid sewing your drawstring, because if you sew it, if you pass your needle through that drawstring, it will not pull. So while sewing, make sure you avoid touching your needle on the drawstring. And I'm done attaching the first comb. To see how beautiful it is. So I just decided to repeat this on camera again, so that in case you did not get how I did the first one, you would see this clearly. So I'm still trying to straighten the comb before I attach it to my mesh. So that is how I achieved the first one. I'll still tighten it to straighten the comb. Guys, just pardon me. This video might be long, but it's just because I don't want to do any important thing off camera, so that you guys will look at this clearly and know how to go about it. And then you attach it to your mesh. Guys, this thing is actually very simple. It is a bit complex, but trust me, it's simple. It's not like rocket science. Actually, it's very easy. And this part is completely done. You can see how very neat this mesh looks. So now it's time to sew my hair on the mesh. So first of all, you're going to have to pin this to your dummy, and I'm going to use the T-pins to pin the mesh to the dummy, so it will make it easier to sew the hair on it. Guys, if you don't have these T-pins, you can always improvise with any other pins that you feel you can work with. So for my ponytail, I'm going to use this hair. It's called leader hair. I got this from a local beauty store, and I have 2 packs, and I'm going to use the whole 2 packs for this hair because I wanted the hair to be very full. I don't want it to be scanty, so I'm going with the whole 2 packs. So now it's just sewing, and sewing, and once the sewing is over, we are done with our ponytail. So this is the second pack of hair, and if you notice, I used the first pack of hair for the lower part of this mesh, so I'm going to use the last pack for the upper part of the mesh, and I'll just sew, and everything will be over and done with. And guys, don't forget that while sewing, you are not supposed to sew your elastic cords together with the hair. Don't forget that part. Make sure you leave the elastic cords, and as you can see, I removed the combs before I started sewing, so also take note of that. So just sew, and I'm almost done, and I am done. So guys, this is the finished look. The truth is, I have never tried this before. This is my very first attempt, and I am so pleased with the results. Guys, you can also do this. It's actually easier than I thought. So guys, basically we've come to the end of today's video. I hope you were able to learn something today, and if you really like this video, please give me a huge thumbs up. Tell me what you think in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe as well. And I'll be doing more videos like this. And guys, look out for my next video because I'll be installing this on my head. So watch out for the part 2 of this video, how I'll install this ponytail. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.